Today I am going to be looking at the Raspberry Pi 400. Now, I purchased this quite a few months ago and this video has been quite a while in the making. Just go explore the Raspberry Pi 400 and the various different ways of emulating the Amiga. Now, the Pi 400 is an amazing machine. I'm really loving it, and the supply of them is a little bit limited. At the time that I got mine, back in maybe May time of 2022, there were some in stock. So as of the time of this video, I'm not sure, and in the future obviously I don't know what the stock will be like. When I started off with the Raspberry Pi, I thought, right, okay, I want a seamless experience of getting straight into the Amiga emulator. Now, there's a couple of ways of doing that. Now, if you want the really quick way and everything set up for you and you don't really have to think about it, then there's nothing much more to say than just check out Chris Edwards's PiMiga 2.0. This website has a guide on it all, and basically this is a beautiful setup for the Amiga. A lot of care has been put into this, and really if you just want to just get to the end of the destination, you want a perfect Amiga, you don't care how you get there, you just want it all set up for you, then I recommend that you go with this. But if, like me, you want to tinker and go through the whole experience and the journey of playing around with things and setting up your perfect Amiga as you want it, then follow me along, because yeah, we're gonna see what we can do. A couple of options. The first option I went with actually was DietPi, which I've covered in a video a little while back. And DietPi gives you the option to download certain software and do various setups, and one of them is Amiga, an Amiga emulator. Now, when I was trying out DietPi, I did find that it was actually using the old version of Amiga, and there wasn't really an easy way to update. It was stuck back in an old version, and as well as using 32-bit OS as well, and I wanted to start exploring the 64-bit version of Raspberry Pi, so that was a little bit limiting for me. So then I decided, okay, after looking at the HSTWB installer, which is really good for quickly installing Workbench and getting a nice setup, I found that there was a Raspberry Pi setup for it. So if we on the HSTWB installer scroll down on the download page, you'll see that there is actually a HSTWB installer for Raspberry Pi. So today we're going to be looking at that, because I think this is going to be a pretty cool way of getting a nice setup on exactly what we want. Let's have a look at the guide, and the guide recommends that we have a Raspberry Pi 400 with Raspberry Pi OS Lite. So let's get that done first. So you need to download the imager. So if you've got a Raspberry Pi, you're probably familiar with this piece of software, so I'm not going to bore you. So that image is now burnt, so if I just take that SD card out and just put that back in again, there's a couple of things that I need to do first, and these are specific to me capturing the Raspberry Pi on my AVerMedia capture card that I just want to do first. So on the config.txt, if I just open that up, I just want to make sure that the following things are set. So we need to have HDMI group 1, and then HDMI mode 16, and that forces it to be in 1080p resolution and use a TV standard. Next, we want to add the ignore CEC in it. That just helps with my capture card, and also this forces the HDMI signal to always stay on. Again, it helps with my capture card. So we'll just go save those options. Our SD card is all made, so let's eject that. and then I'll put that into my Pi 400. Okay, and we're just going through the setup now. So the keyboard is English UK. Please enter a username. I'm just going to choose my name, Mike, and then set a password. And then it looks like we're now on to a console screen, which is awesome. Now I'm just going to make one little change. I'm going to increase the size of the fonts. Both I'm going to struggle, and you'll most probably be struggling as well to read some of the stuff, because all of this is going to be terminal based. So I'm just going to type in this command. Okay, and we're going to use UTF-8 encoding. Guess the optimal character set, and then we're going to use terminus bold, and we're going to choose a nice big size like 12 by 24. Hopefully you'll find that is a little bit clearer. So if we go back to the PC for a brief moment, we need to go to the guide on how to install HSTWB. So I'm going to leave this link in the description for you, but basically we're going to go back to the Raspberry Pi, and I'm going to be typing in all these commands one by one. Okay, so we're installing Git, and actually first, before I do anything, I should do a sudo apt update and then a sudo apt upgrade. Yeah, there's some packages to upgrade, so let's do those first. Okay, so all those updates are done and Git is installed. I'm just going to quickly reboot the Pi so that I know that all those updates are applied. Brilliant. So the next step is that we're going to use the git command, and we're going to clone a install script. There we go, and that's downloaded. So now we need to run a install script. So HSTWB installer launcher Raspberry Pi, and then install.sh. Okay, so it's asking, do we want to install HSTWB installer? Yes, we do. Okay, and then do you want to change the Raspberry Pi OS boot to use HSTWB installer? So basically this is asking, do you want to start the Amiga emulator straight away on boot? Yes, we do. And then do we want to patch the boot services? This speeds up things, so yes. And then we want to enable auto login, so it logs in straight away into the Amiga emulator. Yes, we want to put a delay on for the network. And then we want to use USB mount, because yeah, we're going to be using a USB later on in the install. So just say yes to all the options. Samba, yeah, we're going to install Samba. That will be handy for transferring files later on. Okay, and then we've got the login details for Samba. So it's my username Mike, and the default password is Raspberry. It's just showing where my IP address is and how to access the home folder. Do we want to force 1080p resolution? Yes, we do. I think I've already got this set, but we'll just choose yes anyway. Do we want to download and compile the latest SDL2? Yes, we do. And then we want it to be optimized for the Raspberry Pi 400, because that's what I'm using. And then this might take a while, so I'll come back later once all the text is finished going down the screen. Right, so I've come back and it says successfully downloaded and done SDL2, which is brilliant. Okay. So this will download, compile, and install Amiberry from a GitHub source. So warning, existing GitHub. Right, so yeah, we haven't downloaded Amiberry before. So yeah, we go continue. Select the Raspberry Pi version that you've got. So Pi 400 for me. Then select the operating system. We're running 64-bit. Then SDL2. SDL Discman X is kind of now discontinued, I believe now. So really SDL2 is the best method. So we choose that. And then yet again, loads and loads of text. And just before I was going to walk away, it asked me another question. Okay, so AmiBerry, which version do we want? So we could go with development or stable. I'd like to have a stable release. I think as of this video, 5.3 is the stable version. So yeah, we're going to go with stable. And oh, you can choose a specific version if you want. I want the latest version of AmiBerry. Now I think this is where all the text, yes, all of the text appears. Awesome. Okay, right, well, I'm going to go away now and I'll see you on the other side of all this. Okay, and after some time that has finally completed, so we just click OK. Do you want to use AmiBerry as the default Amiga emulator? Yes, we do. And then next we've got UAE for ARM. Do we want to install that? I'm going to choose no on this because I know that I want to use AmiBerry, so I'm going to say no to that. You can choose yes if you want, there's no harm in doing that. And then fake KMS video driver is configured, is considered legacy, but required for UAE for ARM. So do we want to enable the fake KMS video driver? Well, I'm not installing UAE for ARM, so I'm going to say no. And then successfully installed HSTWB installer. So type HSTWB and press enter from the console at any time to start the installer menu. Do you want to reboot and go through the first time use setup? Yes, I do. And then first time use, we'll go through the initial setups to get HSTWB installer up and running. Do you want to go through the first time use setup? Yes, I do. PMount is not installed and required. Do you want to install it? Yes, I do. So we'll just wait for that to install. So PMount is just the stuff to do with the USB memory stick so that it detects it and accesses it. So the self-install was not found on any USB stick. Make sure that FAT32 formatted USB device is inserted with the HSTWB self-install. Do you want to retry? Now, I got a bit confused on this and I downloaded the self-install images and I put those to a memory stick and it never detected them at all, and I got really frustrated with it, went away and then came back the next day with a fresh set of eyes. And then I'm going to show you what to do next. Back on the PC, we're going to go to that downloads folder. So ignore all of these self-install HDF images at all. You need to go down to the bottom where it says USB self-install files for USB stick with HSTWB self-install. So this is the one you need. So we'll wait for that to download. It's only a small file, 14 megabytes. Click on that. There we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select all of those files, copy, and then I've got a fresh memory stick formatted FAT32. There we go. And I'm going to paste that into this memory stick. Now there's a couple of things that we need to do first on this. We've got Amiga OS and then we need to put in our Amiga OS ADF files. So handily I've got 3.2 from when we did a previous video, so let me just find that again. So we'll start off with Amiga OS 3.1. I'm probably not going to install these, but I'm just going to put them in there anyway so that it's an option. Then 3.2, so let's find that. There's all my ADFs for 3.2. Copy those over. 3.2.1. And then ADFs. Copy all those over. Brilliant, there we go. And then we need the ROMs, so I'm going to select the 1200 and the 500. So let's go back to Kickstarts. Let's put those in there. So those are my 3.2.1 ROMs. Then with regard to Kickstarts, if I go into my C users, public documents, Amiga files, then shared, and then ROM, I can copy over 1.2, 1.3, 204, 3, 3.1, copy all of those into there. We'll add an Amiga 600 as well, just for good measure. There we go. So those are all my Kickstarts copied over, and all the Amiga OS ADF files that I wanted. So we can take this memory stick out now. So I'm going to eject that, and then we're going to put that into the Raspberry Pi. So we should be all ready to proceed now. I've got the USB stick in the Raspberry Pi 400. So if we press enter to continue, hopefully it finds the files. And sadly it doesn't. Okay, let's try giving a reboot. Okay, and we've rebooted it. Now it's actually said, yeah, it's successfully mounted a drive. So hopefully, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we just had to do a reboot after putting the memory stick in. So successfully installed the Kickstart ROM. Cool, okay. Right, and then next this will download and install the latest HSTWB installer, UAE ARM image, and it requires 2.5 gigabytes of space. So yep, we'll click yes. So that's good. It's carrying on the install process even after doing a Control Alt and Delete to restart the machine. I think the documentation for this process could be improved a little bit, but hopefully this video is going to help you anyway. So successfully installed the latest HSTWB installer ARM image, and it's put the hard drive in there. To start building the image, run the emulator, then load and start HSTWB build 030 JIT. When the installer is built, run the Amiga emulator and load the HSWB run version. Okay, so and then to enable auto start for the run config, load it and save it as auto start. Okay, right, so if we click OK, let's run the Amiga emulator. Cool. And then if we go to configurations, so we're looking for the build one first, the JIT one. So we've got to build our image, click on load, then click on start. So finally we're starting to get into an Amiga environment. So we'll just wait for this to load. There we go, welcome to HSTWB. Right, so if we press enter, and then right, so this is basically saying the directories it's going to use. Yep, that's okay. So it's now just checking to see what Amiga OS versions we've got available, and then press enter again. So these are all the packages that are available. So yep, continue. So we're going to use MD5 only as a method of checking the ADFs because it's quicker. So there we go. So because I copied over Amiga OS 3.1 and 3.2, that's why they've appeared in the menu. So I could change my mind and just install 3.1 if I want. But for now, I want 3.2, and this should be 3.2.1. And then Amiga OS 3.2.1 update has been detected. That's good. And then the modules, well, because I've got the ROM files, I don't need any modules disk at all, so I'm going to go skip. Okay, and it's detected all of the older kickstarts, the 1.2, 1.3 and 3.1. So yeah, we're going to install these kickstart ROM files. This is handy for WHD load and the likes. Do you want to continue? Yes. Now this is listing all the user packages that we've got. So we're not selecting them yet, but all the things that are available. So we'll continue. Yeah, I want to continue with 21 packages available. And then the self-install is ready to start the installation process. So we press enter. So OS 3.2 comes with some colourful and professionally designed icons, glow icons. Do we want to use them? Yes, why not? Let's have that. And it looks best in interlace mode as well. So shall we put that on as well? Yeah, let's see what the Raspberry Pi can do with interlace mode. So it's just going through installing all of the disks. Okay, and now it's installing the update files, the 3.2.1. Okay, and that's Amiga OS 3.2 installed. And then that's going to install the kickstarts. Cool, and then the system's going to reboot in 10 seconds. Okay, so next is the package selection. So what we're going to do is going to have a look at I'm going to install Picasso, have a play with that. I'm not going to bother with any of the best WB or better workbench. Shall I try out HSTWB? Yeah, why not? Let's try that. Okay everybody, I've just got to pause the video here because from here on out there were so many problems with this installation, and I think I found the root of the problem, and it was enabling HSTWB package at this point with Amiga OS 3.2 broke so many things, and I spent so much time trying to work on this, and I was getting more and more frustrated. Now, I'd been walking away from this several times before, and you can probably tell in my voice through this video that I haven't been really happy with this, but I wanted to strive on and make a good video on this. Now, sadly, it got all too much for me, and I actually took the Pi 400 and threw it against a wall. Now, I'll recommend to everybody not to do that. Don't throw it against a wall because it breaks it. And I basically broke the board inside in half by doing that. So that wasn't the greatest idea and not the proudest moment. But I wanted to tell you all, because the key thing that I didn't do was walk away again. And actually, if something isn't working so many times, then yeah, just walk away from it. Hopefully you'll learn from my mistakes and have more patience than me. Luckily, because Pi 400s are so rare at the moment, I was so annoyed with myself after I did it, because yeah, obviously it's really difficult to get these things at the moment. And I was really lucky to get a Raspberry Pi 400 German keyboard edition for £66. And then once that arrived, I was able to transplant the UK keyboard, which was still intact. That part was okay. And then basically make a UK version of the Raspberry Pi 400 out of the Germany one. So I wanted to really continue and make this video. I was in two minds about continuing it because I've got some real strong feelings about this video. A lot of things have gone wrong with it, but I'm striving to carry on and make it. So what we're going to see next is just a basic Amiga 3.2 installation with no extras or anything, just vanilla, and we'll just carry on with that. So thank you for watching so far. Hopefully you've not clicked away yet, but let's continue. Okay, so we're finally back here and I'm going to choose, hopefully very wisely, on what packages I want. So first off, we've got the package installation. Now, I'm just going to say no to all of these because this is what broke it last time. So I'm just going to skip all, start the package installation because it's all set to skip. Yes, I want to install 0 packages. There we go. We'll just watch that all fly through and then enter. And then under user packages, I'm going to scroll down. I want WHD load, so I'm going to enable that. I want sysinfo. I want MUI 3.8. And I want the Kickstart ROMs. And as well, we want directory opus. Archivers and unarchivers are useful as well. And I think that's about it. So I go start user packages. So I've selected 6 and we'll just wait for those to all install. So I'm going to choose the 68020 version for all of these packages. There we go, kick-worm files to install, no valid kick-worms detected. Oh, okay, so that's it's already installed, so yeah. And then I want to use F10 for my WHD load. That's all installed, press enter to continue. And then it's going to do one final reboot. And there we go, we've got Amiga Workbench installed, and we've got a few like directory opus all set up ready for us, and we've got sysinfo. And what I want to do now is I want to run, choose the run option 030 25 megahertz, so not using the JIT compiler. Load and then do a restart. Choose that configuration. And there you go, there's our workbench setup. So we've got a workbench and work. We've got USB, so that's a USB share on the Amiga. So we can easily transfer stuff across. It's obviously our RAM disk. But yeah, under work, what we got under there shouldn't be too much. No, just the installer itself. And under workbench, yeah, we've got pretty much a basic setup. But there we go. That is the end of the video. This was a really long video, and for me personally, it's been over several months and has been a difficult video to make. Let's just say that. But thank you very much for watching. If you've got to the end, just smash that like button to let me know that you've enjoyed this, and I will hopefully see you in another video. Take care, everybody.